Go over the last remaining class cards. We have here the animated armor. Your hero can only take 1 damage at a time. Another very unique effect. Impossible to rate. 4/4 for 4 is not too crazy. Dies to Shredder, but against aggro decks, I mean, it really protects you. It's nothing like both. It's like a usable effect. You can't get rushed down. Your opponent has to deal with this card. I think it's not bad. It's really good against aggressive decks. It's much better than just heal, because your opponent, you really, it's better than taunt. It's like a really strong defensive attack effect. Your opponent just can't ignore it and go face. It doesn't work. It has to be dealt with. It has to die. And it's like a card you can play prior to Sludge Belcher. You can play this like in an Echo Mage deck. I think this is very powerful. Even though it doesn't look on the first sight, I think it's a very strong card. But in very specific decks, it won't obviously see play in Tempo Mage or Mech Mage, or maybe it will see in Freeze Mage. I don't think that Freeze Mage has the room to play a minion like this, but in Echo Mage, seems like a powerful card. Seems like something that would fit perfectly in Echo Mage, especially with Duplicate. If you get like a bunch of those cards and your opponent always has to deal with it, you can't just go face. Like, it has to be dealt with. Seems pretty like you can do a pretty strong. Not just also against druids, like you can really build a new unique deck type. Like your opponent can't just ignore your board. Like Duplicate Mage and Echo like Mage have like unlimited resources, but most of the time you can just ignore all that stuff and go face and kill him. But with this card it doesn't work. Like Druid can't just combo you down, because combo will just do 4 damage. That's nothing. And if you get this card gets duplicated and you always have this on board, your opponent always has to kill this card first and then go face. So if you have a bunch of this minion, always has to be killed. So it's, I think you can work out a pretty new unique strategy with this. Very curious. Curse of Ratham. I'm actually not so sure how this works. Like, you give your opponent a cursed card while they hold it, they take 2 damage on their turn. And the cursed card is like 2 mana, take 2 damage at the start of your turn. And I don't know if you can just play the cursed card for 2 mana and it's gone, like you're cured, or you have to hold it. If you, like, I don't want to talk too much about it, because yeah, if you have to hold the curse forever, then you can build another completely unique type, which we called in Yu-Gi-Oh! Burner deck, which you just deal direct damage over time, and then you play very defensive mechanisms, like clearing the board and just kill your opponent with the damage over time effects. And absolutely love that type. It was my favorite deck type, and I hope it works like this. But if you can just play the curse, it's not that strong, because your opponent just takes 2 damage and it's just face damage. But if you can build like a strategy, the curse cannot be removed, then I absolutely love this card. Otherwise, do not see play. But if you cannot play the curse, I mean, it costs 2 mana, so you can probably play it. But if you can't play it, but you should not be able to play it, because it has not an effect. Like, you can't play a Shield Slam for 1 mana. You can't play Execute if there's nothing to execute. Or you can't play Deadly Poison if you have no weapon. It's like, the cursed card doesn't have an effect, so I don't think you can just play it for 2 mana. So you can build a complete new strategy, because your opponent will just die slowly, which is sick. I hope it works like that, because that would be really sick. It gives you another way of playing the game. This is a warrior card. Double all damage dealt to your hero, which is a lot. Taking, like, if you kill a knife juggler with this, you take 6 damage, and this stays forever till you equip a new weapon, or yeah, till the charges are gone. And that's a lot of damage you take. But it's sick weapon, like sick removal. It's like a super removal for 1 mana. I don't know if this will see play. It's difficult to say. It's like one of those cards difficult to rate. Warrior has a lot of anti-aggro cards. I don't know if you need another weapon, but yeah, the weapon is definitely very powerful. But double phase damage. Warrior has a lot of heal now, a lot of armor, and clearing the board usually will help you stabilize. But taking double damage is a lot. Like if you can't get this weapon away, I think this will not see too much play, to be honest. Too many weapons. You have already War Axe and Deathbite. You probably don't need it. Desert Camel, be a hunter card. Battlecry, put a 1-cost minion from each deck into the battlefield. Oh boy. I think that most decks will play something like Zombie Chow. Hunter has a lot of 1-drops, which is pretty good, like Web Spinners and Lepanomes and aggressive stuff. But you don't want to give your opponent a 1-drop. Usually the 1-drop that your opponent plays will probably be better. Against the Warrior, it's good. Warrior doesn't have 1-drops. But Priest has 1-drops. A lot of classes have 1-drops actually. Paladin has Zombie Chow. Like a lot of the control decks will play Zombie Chow. Against Dragon decks it's good because if they get Twilight Whelp it's a 2-1. But your 1-drops from Hunter are not that sick either. It's like just Web Spinners and stuff, but it helps you get stuff on the board for Houndmaster. This will make Houndmaster much easier to be played. So, hard to say. I don't think it's so good, because the stats are pretty bad. 3 mana, but it's a beast, so you have that. Giving your opponent a minion on board is usually pretty bad. So, probably will not see play, but I love camels. Camels are cool. The next Hunter card is Explorer's Head. Give a minion +1 and Death Rattle, add an Explorer's Head to your hand. So you have Explorer's Heads till your opponent silences it. Which is pretty sick. I think this card will see play. I don't know, because like in like a mid-range Hunter or something, because you get the card always back. It's bad with Quick Shot, because you will have this card forever. But usually you don't want to use 2 mana to buff something by +1/+1. Usually you want to play another minion. But you get this card back. It's like if you, it's like instead of card draw you have this card that if you have enough additional mana you just play this card instead, than just not doing anything. So it might be good, and you play a lot of Death Rattle minions. Probably see play. Definitely will see play. But how strong will it be? It's tough to say. You have to build like a deck. It doesn't work in Face Hunter, I think. No, it should not work in Face Hunter. Maybe it does. Forgotten Torch. Some people go crazy about this card. Deal 3 damage, shuffle a Roaring Torch in your deck that deals 6 damage, also for 3 mana. It's like a cheaper fireball. And Freeze Mage, this is insane, because you get more burn in your deck. Cheap burn. With Emperor it's insane, obviously, as well. Yeah, it's for Freeze Mage, it's super sick card. Will buff Freeze Mage a lot. I love it. It's like sick card. It's like so many playable cards. I don't even know. Love it. 3 damage for 3 mana is not that good. It's decent though. It's not awful. But getting the cheap fireball, additional cheap fireball in your deck, it's good for tempo mages. It's good for freeze mages. Pretty strong card. Museum Curator. Battlecry, discover a Death Rattle card. 2 mana, 1/2. It's a priest 2-drop. Priest doesn't have 2-drop. But discover Death Rattle card. The stats just suck too much. 1 attack is just too awful. I think I love it that priest gets a 2-drop, but this 2-drop sucks. I think it sucks. The stats are too weak. You can't play two crappy cards. Maybe it will work. Priest is so slow. Usually priest just hero pass, like control priest, hero pass turn 2. Maybe this is better. And you can choose from 3 Death Rattle minions. Usually something will be good enough from the one you from the cards you choose. I really love that this card effect. It's pretty good. It's like a Novice Engineer sort of. Would you play Novice Engineer and Priest? Probably not. I don't know about this card. Looks pretty weak. Last but not least, Raven Idol. A druid card. Choose one. Discover a minion or discover a spell. Oh boy. So you can choose to get a random spell, like 3 random spells to choose from, or you can choose a minion, 3 random minions to choose from. Wow, it's like very, very, very high RNG. Can get really bad cards, but you get 3 to choose from. That's the thing. You can get 3 random spells and you can still like choose from them. So it has the random effect, random aspect, and the strategic aspect. So I really like the discover effect, as I said, I like it. But will this card see play in Druid? I don't know. It gives you something to do on turn 1. It's like a tracking for Druid. I like cards like this. Maybe some people like it, I don't know. I don't see much use now, but it's not like an awful card. It gives something to do. Like you can get completely card like Hunter's Mark, whatever. Also like maybe you as a Druid you play against Handlock, you have nothing to answer, and then you can discover a spell and then you get something like equality, or I don't know, like from 3 spells, Hunter's Mark, equality, deadly shot. There's so many spells that deal with big minions, and Druid doesn't have that. So you have to like make a spreadsheet with every single spell, and then you can also just get firebolts or whatever. But if you can choose from 3 spells, it's very likely you get something usable. So you might see play in Ramp Druid, whatever. I don't know. Definitely, it's hard to say. Tomb Pillager, it's a rogue card. It's like the last card from the set. Boy, I reviewed quite some cards. Tomb Pillager, definitely add a coin to your hand. 4 mana, 4/5, it's decent. 4 or 5 is better, obviously. But the definite effect is really good for rogue. You get a coin. It's probably better than Violet Teacher. Coin is really good for rogue, obviously. You get also to get more expensive cards out cheaper. So if you play this on 4, you can get a 6 mana play afterwards, which is insane. I think this card is really good. I'll definitely play. Wow, it's like now I'm done with the set. My summarization is really that a lot of really strong cards, very unique effects. I really absolutely love this adventure. It's definitely my favorite expansion so far, and I can't wait to play those cards, and I can't wait for seeing the feedback of people, what they think. Very unique effects. I like the team, I like the beasts and everything, and I hope you guys like it as well, and I hope you guys enjoyed my review, and let me know what you guys think, and see you guys next time. Peace.
Oh my god, this is nuts. This is nuts. Give me another blast. Oh, you fuck. No.